Good vibes, cause it's a black party. Living like tomorrow's not promised. You're invited and bring somebody. Come inside where black is over everything. I said today's a holiday, so we gonna celebrate. Party started.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to another episode of The Cookout. I am your gracious host, Trika, and today I want to talk about what is the difference between TPUSA, aka Turning Point USA, and the Black Panther Party.
Big Mama.
So, when you hear someone say Black Panther Party, what is the first thing that comes to mind? A lot of the times, especially for non-black people, the first thing that comes to mind is the perception, right? The perception of the Black Panther Party to other people, which is caused by the government and the misinformation in the media, is that the Black Panther Party was violent. The Black Panther Party was a threat to America. J. Edgar Hoover, the actual president of the United States, declared that the Black Panther Party was a threat to the United States of America. I want to know why. What made the Black Panther Party a threat? Because I am going to go down a list of comparisons between the Black Panther Party and TPUSA. Because what I'm starting to fester upon is, was Charlie Kirk so original after all? Was Charlie Kirk really this boy genius? Was Charlie Kirk really this bright revolutionary who just came up with this bright idea and this bright concept? Or did Charlie Kirk do what a lot of white men in history have done? Taking something that already existed, putting their little spin on it, putting it out, and then riding off into the sunset as a visionary, as a hero, as a genius. Because when you look at side by side, and I'm going to put this up on the screen, when you look at Turning Point USA side by side with the Black Panther Party, you are going to see a bunch of strong similarities. The biggest one being the target audience being the youth. The Black Panthers Party the Black Panther Party's target audience, the Black Panther Party's target audience was the youth and the lower class. Turning Point USA's target audience was the youth. So I just want to know if the president called the Black Panther Party a threat to the United States, if they set up COINTELPRO, a program specifically created to target these black organizations, surveillance, they sent in infiltration spies. That's actually how some of them got killed, was spies and being infiltrated. So the government had this huge obsession with taking this group down because they were doing exactly what Turning Point is doing. Swaying the youth, swaying the people's opinion. So why do we have the government working hand in hand with Turning Point USA if these are the same types of organization? Why was the Black Panther Party considered dangerous? Why did they need to be stopped? Was it because the Black Panther Party were uniting black people? They also helped all colors. The Black Panther Party helped all people, but they were majority a black organization. So the fact that they were black and Turning Point is a mostly white organization, is that the difference? I think it is. Let's look at the side-by-sides of the Black Panther Party versus Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA was founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, a conservative youth organization. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966 by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seals, revolutionary black nationalist organization. Core ideology: Turning Point's conservative free market capitalism, limited government, individual liberty, and patriotism. Black Panther Party: black nationalism, anti-imperialism, socialism, self-determination, community control. Primary mission: Turning Point USA primary mission: promote conservative values on college campuses and in youth culture. Primary mission for the Black Panther Party: protect black communities, fight systemic oppression, achieve liberation and equality. Approach and methods: TPUSA: education, campus events, media content, conferences, political activism through dialogue and persuasion. Okay? Approaches of the Black Panther Party: direct action, community programs, political education, self-defense, coalition building. Key program initiatives: TPUSA: campus chapters, activism training, Turning Point action, student action, summits. Black Panther Party: free breakfast for children, health clinics, survival programs, political education, 10-point program. Target audience: Turning Point: high school and college students, young conservatives. Target audience for the Black Panthers: black communities, especially youth and the working class. View of the government: TPUSA: limited government, free markets, law and order. Black Panthers: government should serve the people, but must be held accountable, seeks systemic change. Stance on police: TPUSA supports law enforcement. Back the blue. Black Panthers: oppose police brutality and systemic racism, advocated for community control on police. Symbols of TPUSA: American flag, Turning Point arrow logo, red, white, and blue. Symbols of the Black Panther emblem, raised fist, black beret, black leather jackets. Long-term goals of TPUSA: build conservative movements to influence culture and policies. Black Panthers: achieve black liberation, equality, and systemic oppression. These organizations seem to have the same goals, but one was okay with the government and one was taken down by the government. Let's look at some clips of what the Black Panther organizations stand for and what it looked like to see them out and about. And let's look at the same from TPUSA. And you tell me if the real reason that they had a problem with the Black Panther Party and not TPUSA was simply because they did not want black people to organize. And they have not really found a way to do so since then. So if Turning Point USA still exists, why is there no such organization for black people to do the same, to unite, to stand for their principles, their goals? Because the Democratic Party is not it. Let's take a look.
The Black Panther Party was one of the most influential community movements in American history. It was founded in 1966 in Oakland, California by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in response to injustice and inequality faced by black communities. Their mission focused on dignity, education, safety, and self-determination. They believed communities deserved protection, opportunity, and truth. The Panthers created powerful community programs. They provided free breakfast for children, opened health clinics, supported elders, offered education programs, and taught political awareness. These programs helped thousands of families across the country. As their influence grew, they came under intense government surveillance. Many leaders were monitored, arrested, or pushed out of public life through legal and political pressure. Huey P. Newton faced years of scrutiny and legal challenges. Bobby Seale became a national symbol of political repression after repeated court cases connected to his activism. Fred Hampton, a young leader in Chicago, became known for uniting people across racial and economic lines. His life ended in 1969, and his story remains one of the most discussed chapters in American history. Eldridge Cleaver became an international voice for the movement and spent years outside the United States due to political pressure. Assata Shakur became one of the most well-known figures connected to the movement and has lived outside the U.S. for decades. During this period, a government program called COINTELPRO focused on disrupting political organizations it considered threatening. Many historians agree this program played a role in weakening the Black Panther Party. Over time, pressure from surveillance, legal battles, internal conflict, and misinformation caused the organization to lose strength. But the impact never disappeared. Their community programs inspired social services still used today. Their focus on education and awareness continues to influence new generations. Their legacy remains powerful. The Black Panther Party did not disappear because it failed. It disappeared because its influence was strong. And their story remains one of the most important chapters in American history.
I started Turning Point USA when I was 18 years old in the heartland of America, in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. Instead of going to university and instead of going to college, I persuaded my parents to allow me to take 6 months off to go start an organization that I believed would revitalize America on college and high school campuses. I had no money, no connections, and no idea what I was doing. And as I like to say, only in America could a kid with no money and no connections and no idea what he was doing take a risk and grow an enterprise that is now present in the States on 1,400 high school and college campuses across the country. Well over 150 people on staff, reaching tens of millions of people on digital and social media every single day.
The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense is organized now throughout the nation. We are recognized internationally, and we advocate that all black people in America are taught what politics is all about and what our history is all about, so that we can have self-identity and we can know where our strength is, we will know our enemies, and we'll know our friends.
Our generation is in trouble.
It's time for action.
Time to take a stand.
Politicians have bankrupted us,
both fiscally and morally.
If we don't stand for what we believe in,
we will lose our basic freedoms and liberties.
Republicans and Democrats are not the answer.
The next generation is taking a stand.
All across the country,
young people are uniting
to save their future.
Under 3 key principles:
fiscal responsibility,
free markets,
and capitalism.
Join our cause.
Join the fight.
Help us preserve liberty for the next generation.
Tomorrow is brighter.
Face the future. www.turningpointusa.net.
As you know, we have initiated a free breakfast for school children. The reason behind this is because we understand that our children go hungry. Because we understand that the pigs won't get us off their ass and give us no food. Because we understand that there's oppressors. The Black Panther Party says that we're going to serve these children. We're going to feed them every morning. They get a full meal, grits, bacon, toast, eggs, everything they need for the whole day. We need the people's support. We need your action. We need your money. We need your donations. We need your time. The breakfast program is a program for the people and by the people.
Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. Well, I want to thank all those seniors, but I want to thank all the young people. I've never seen so many young people in my life. And I want to say a special hello to Phoenix. We had a big win in Phoenix and a big win in Arizona and a big win all over the country. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Arizona with the hardworking, God-fearing patriots of Turning Point Action and Turning Point USA.
What do Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, and other historic black leaders have in common? The FBI had a secret program to disrupt all of them. It was called COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program. It started in 1956 under FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. The goal? To disrupt, discredit, and neutralize groups they thought had too much influence. And one thing scared them most: a black leader who could bring people together. They didn't just watch civil rights groups. They got involved. They wiretapped Martin Luther King Jr. They sent him an anonymous letter trying to shame and pressure him. They planted informants inside the Black Panther Party, spread lies, sent fake letters, turned allies into enemies, incited violence between groups. Fred Hampton, a young leader in Chicago, was building unity across race and class. He was under surveillance. An informant gave authorities details about his apartment before a 1969 police raid where Hampton was killed. His death is still one of the most controversial cases from that era. Malcolm X was also heavily watched by federal agencies. Historians still debate how government surveillance shaped his assassination. COINTELPRO didn't just mean arrests. They spread fake rumors, planted false evidence, destroyed marriages, got people fired from jobs. The goal was to weaken movements from the inside. In 1971, activists broke into an FBI office in Pennsylvania and found secret documents exposing the program. The country found out. COINTELPRO was officially shut down soon after, but the tactics didn't stop. They just stopped calling it COINTELPRO. Declassified documents proved the FBI targeted over 200 Black organizations and thousands of individuals. Not for crimes, for demanding equality. This isn't a movie plot. This is documented history. So the real question is, when people start coming together, why does that make the people in power nervous?
I was in labor cooking breakfast for the breakfast program. So I was between contractions flipping pancakes.
I would spend all the day answering the phones. Even after I had my son, when I came back to work, I used to have to jump him up and down really heavy because it just wouldn't stop crying as I'm answering the phone.
You name it. I cleaned freezers with a toothpick.
And that's how I'd answer the phone. Black Panther Party National Headquarters, Black Panther Party Central Headquarters, can I help you?
Dear Huey, when I joined the party, I was thrilled about becoming part of an organization that believes in the equality of men and women. It bothers me that there are brothers who still view women as sexual objects. We should have no men in the Black Panther Party who feel this way, or women for that matter.
One of the ironies of the Black Panther Party is that the image is the black male with the jacket and the gun, but the reality is the majority of the rank and file by the end of the 60s are women.
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberty, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
The Black Panther Party certainly had a chauvinist tone, and so we tried to change some of the clear gender roles so that women had guns and men cooked breakfast for children. Did we overcome it? Of course we didn't. As I like to say, we didn't get these brothers from revolutionary heaven.
And we will make America great again.
So I want you to be the judge. Why is it okay for an organization such as TPUSA to exist? Not only for them to exist, but for them to have full support from the government, from the president, and pretty much all of society that supports them, the entire MAGA movement. But why was it not okay when there was an organization before doing the same thing? And do we still think that Charlie Kirk was just this bright genius who came up with this brilliant format, this brilliant organization? Or do we think that he may have just taken it, twisted it, rebranded it, put a white face on it? Because to me, it kind of looks like line by line, these organizations are the same. So How could Charlie Kirk just be this genius who thought this up out of the air when there was already a system that existed that did this very thing? Sounds like a bunch of the same old to me. Stealing. But that leaves me with the question of, what do we do now? So let's look at some of the surveillance tactics. TPUSA surveillance. TPUSA and affiliates have reported being monitored by college administrators, events and communications tracked and logged, donor lists and internal communications reportedly requested by outside groups, social media monitoring and shadow banning reported by members, government interference. TPUSA, allegations of federal agencies flagging TPUSA associates, pressure on banks and payment processing to close accounts, government officials publicly criticizing and targeting TPUSA, requests for donors and event information from federal agencies. So now let's discuss all of the tactics that the government did and how they surveilled and how they kept surveillance on the Black Panther Party. They would destroy their rallies, how they would beat them, how they would arrest them, and how the government completely conspired to take them down. Not only that, how they killed them. I want you to come up with your own conclusion as to why this could be. And you tell me, is Charlie Kirk really a visionary? Is TPUSA allowed to exist because they're white? And are we fed the Democratic Party because it has no true power? And anytime we actually have a real organization that is really about unity, that is really about the progress of the Black people, the government conspires to take that down. You be the judge. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cookout. I'll see you right here next time.
It's a black